Hello, everybody. Sorry for taking so long on this. Everyone's been waiting in chat for like 15 minutes while I've been just like hammering out code or trying to get something to work here. But hey, I'm SolarLune, and this is a stream. A game dev stream, probably. That's the idea. And it's going to be kind of interesting because I thought I'd do a little something different this time around. And I was going to start up a new kind of project just to kind of mess around a little bit. But I thought it'd be fun if I actually put the code up so that people could take a look at it. Because, you know, people might want to take a look at it. Also, I see the screen's kind of flickering. Let me do something about that. I think that should do it. Yeah, so that should be fun. So I was just basically kind of like hammering stuff out, trying to get this to push up here. But yeah, I'm gonna put my code that I make here, so that if anyone wants to like follow along and download the code as I make it and the assets and stuff to kind of like learn what I'm doing and hopefully have a little bit of fun and see the game in its finished state. You can do that. So it's going to be here at SolarLune/LearningGoGameDev. Alright, so hello everyone, how is everyone doing today? And in the meantime, let me go ahead and start up some music, because it's always good to have some music in the background. I don't remember how I did this. Let's see. There we go. Okay, that'll work. And also, let me make sure it's not too loud. There we go. I had it muted for the longest time. Okay, so that should be good. Yeah, so hopefully this will be nice and fun, and people will find it kind of interesting and useful. That'd be nice. Alright, and I'm just doing something on my table here. Yeah, so currently what I'm going to do is basically be working here and periodically upload my code to that repo on my user on GitHub, and then you can check it out and compile it and see what the code's like and improve it and all that stuff. So it'll be a nice little learning resource. Currently I just started just this really basic whoops, I don't need to do that actually. I just started this really basic example with Ebiton, just getting a window up and running. And so Ebiton is not Raylib, that's why I've been using up till now Raylib, but I thought it'd be nice to kind of try something a little bit different and see what other frameworks are like, and you know, see what the differences are, because there are some fundamental differences in how Ebiton works. It has some very interesting ideas with color matrices and things like that that give some really cool effects with a pretty little work, but then Raylib is a nice simple framework to use as well, so it's everything's kind of got their own style, so it's nice to try different things and see how that all works out. Alright. So everyone's saying hello. Let's see. Mariana Sulagoy says, do you have a tutorial you followed on how to set up the build environment to use Golang? No. There's not too much you have to do. I have this here all set up, but basically this is it when it comes to, like, this is it. Like, I think you have to have a main.go file that basically has a package called main and a function called main, and that's the first function that runs. And then that's really it. The only thing that's in my build script is this, which is just calling go build -o ./bin/game, which basically outputs the executable, and it compiles the source folder, and then it runs it. That's it. But Mariano Sulugoy says, I don't mean the project, I mean the Golang compiler, having it installed. Oh, not really either. With Solus, oops. Yeah, with Solus, Golang is here in the Software Center, but on the different Software Centers, it's going to be there too. So you just go ahead and I just download it from the Software Center, essentially. If you wanted to download it, you can, and then you just have to set the Go path and Go root environment variables. I think that's it. There's like a little walkthrough on the Golang website that talks specifically about it and like how you can go ahead and set it up if you don't already do it. Banjo Media says the update of Sunbox was mostly putting in some new instruments and bug fixing. Looks like there was a couple of things, but not so much like new modules. Just like new kind of features to a couple of modules, bug fixes, minor things. Actually, I'll show a little bit something that I like now. Okay, so we'll use this song as an example. Hold on. Let's boost this up in volume a little bit. So this little graph that moves upwards is a new feature. This cloudy kind of graph that kind of gives you a little information on like where sounds are in addition to the waveform that's here. I think one's called a spectrogram or spectrograph, and the other one's called something else. I don't remember the names, but basically they're kind of a couple of different ways of representing how the sounds are visually mapped. Or how they audibly sound, how they're visually mapped. And that's useful because that allows you to see like, oh, am I filling up all of the dynamic range of my song? Like, is there anything that's like missing? And it also depends, just like the waveform, this graph also depends on what instrument you have, module I've selected. So if I have the bass module selected and I play it, you can see it's a lot of signal in the low end, and then it kind of fades off as it goes into the high end, which is good for a bass. And that's in line with this waveform as well. It's higher in the low end and drops down in the high end. And you also notice when I turn on sample interpolation, that makes it sound a little more, modern. And without it, it sounds kind of like old and crispy and stuff. But with it on, now the high end's missing. Yeah, you see that crunchiness, that there? That's adding a little bit to the treble, to the high end of the song. So anyway, it's just very useful because that way you can see like, oh, how am I filling out my song in terms of like the audible space. So that's a nice little feature. That's a nice little feature, very useful. Nice to see a visual graph of your song. There's other little kind of smaller things. I haven't really seen anything that like made me jump and say, "Oh snap! Oh my gosh!" But there are a few nice things like different kinds of noises, which is nice. Before it was just one kind of noise. Now you have white noise, pink noise, red noise, blue noise, and gray noise, in addition to a noise spline. So that's nice to have different kinds of noises. You have there's a couple of other things, but nothing like really revolutionary that like really changed the way I make music. But there's enough in here where there's it's a nice update, nice new things. Bug fixes are always nice, so it's good, very good. Let's see. Absolt says that's a jam. Thank you, thank you very much. Stepa says, hey Solar, have you heard about Macaw? It's a new engine written in Go. I saw it. I did see it. And there's I think another Pixel Perfect 2D engine, or maybe I'm thinking of D. But yeah, there's a couple of different engines written in Go, which is nice. I haven't really gotten into any of them except for Raylib, so that's why I'm kind of taking a look at Ableton right now. But yeah, there's quite a bit of quite a bit that you can use for Go game dev, which is great. Always nice to have lots of different options. Always nice to have a variety of projects that do things in a variety of ways. Because sometimes some things do things a little bit better than other things in different ways. Banjo says, dang, I'm getting a very big flashback to Mega Man Battle Network with that song, and a great new spectrum of noise. Oh, dude, thank you. Excellent, man. Oh, man, if it sounds like Mega Man Battle Network... Oh, I changed the instrument. I was wondering what the heck. Like that's a jam, dude. If it sounds like Mega Man Battle Network, that's excellent. Because I always say Capcom. There's only like a few people. Like Capcom, pretty reliably, like especially for the DS and stuff. Like when you get, I can't even think of like a AAA Capcom game, like modern. I guess like Monster Hunter is one. But like whenever you have like kind of 2D graphics, Capcom brings it with like some nasty, like excellent chiptune. Like if it's Mega Man Battle Network, Mega Man X, Mega Man Zero, like it's gonna jam. But if it's like something more modern, it might be more orchestral or whatever. But like Ace Attorney, all the Ace Attorney games have just like some like like excellent like trance stuff. Like what the heck? So yeah, if it sounds like Mega Man Battle Network, that is a win in my book. I've been trying to get better at like making this specific folder is like my cyberpunk future crunchy sample bass folder. Like this is specifically what I'm working on. So that's like specifically. So yeah, like this is like I'm getting jammed. Like I'm hyped. Okay, I'm so hyped. So anyway, and now I'm kind of getting hyped about this idea about basically uploading my code and stuff, the project that I'm working on as I make it. Because then I can have a project, a stream where I just work on music, but then I can add it to the project, and you can see like how it changes and grows, and or maybe becomes a different kind of song, or maybe, you know, as more songs get in there, you can see it. It'll be interesting. It'll be very interesting, I think. Okay, so Mariano Sugoi says, "Be right back, going for dinner." All right, see ya. Banjo Media says, "You should release folders instead of albums." That sounds good. That sounds like a good idea. Maybe I'll do that. Ryan Vlaming says, hello, heyo, hello. Absolt says, "That music makes me want to make a game too." Do it, dude. Making games is awesome. It's a lot of fun. It takes a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. Trinus Storonalo says, hello. Hello, Trinus. How are you feeling? This is Storonalo. Alright, so as you can see, I'm using... So weird. I'm using Atom because for whatever reason, like, code completion broke on Visual Code. For some reason, it just doesn't work anymore, like at all. Well, not quite at all, but it doesn't work correctly anymore. Like, you do that and it just doesn't give you any of this stuff, and it's just like, I kind of would like some of this stuff. I kind of would like to have an idea of what I need to type in. So yeah, that's why I'm using Atom right now. But I would recommend Atom or Visual Studio Code or whatever you use. Banjo Media says, Solar, does your keyboard and Sunvox play the keys late? No, but it can. It can play the keys late if you have the buffer set too high. So for example, oh yeah, that's right. I have to remember to turn the desktop audio down later. But anyway, like for example, if I set the audio buffer to be like super high, click, click, wait, click, like it's like half a second late. So that's, yeah, it's if you notice that it's late, make sure that your buffer isn't like super high. Either change to auto or change it to maybe something smaller, like 128, or I'm sorry, 512 or 1024. The less the buffer, the quicker it'll come out, but the more trashy it'll sound. Actually, that sounds fine. Let's see. Ah, that's loud. Hold on. Oh, okay. Well, I guess you on my I know that if the buffer was like low, it would be kind of sound like really bad before. Maybe that was fixed or something. Maybe that was just the operating system I was using at some point in time. I don't know. But yeah, so just make sure you adjust the buffer. So if it's kind of slow, like you press and it's late, then yeah, adjust the buffer so that's less, or set it to auto if it's not set there already. And see how that does you. Alright, Ryan Vlaming says, what mechanical keyboard do you have there? I can't tell what switches those are by the sound. This is a Quickfire TK CM Storm by Cooler Master. It's the one that has no dedicated arrow keys, but it does have a numpad. So I have to press the switch to turn the numpad on and off. Or, I'm sorry, turn the arrow keys on and off. Well, it's the same thing. But basically, yeah, that's the one I have. Alright, so let's get the music back going, and also turn this down so it's not going to blow anybody's eardrums out, and you guys can hear me talk and think, because I clearly have so much to add. There we go. Banjo says, that might be the answer to a lot of my problems. Okay, glad to hear that. Alright, so this is the current game that we have. It's just a black screen, but it's an awesome black screen. What we're going to do is going to be low resolution, because that makes it easier. We're going to go with a pretty small screen size. We'll say something like maybe, we'll start with a 16:9 because that's what most people still have. So we'll just do like var screen W equals 160, var screen H equal 90. Okay, let's go with that for now. And then we can just say like screen WH rather. And then screen W. Okay. So this is going to complain because they should have comments or be unexported. Fine, we'll just do screen W like this. There we go. Alright, let's see how that goes. That's gonna be tiny. So this is actually scaled up to be like 1. Yeah, this is the actual screen size. 160, 16 by 90. Yeah, 160 by 90. So let's actually make it bigger. Let's say it was 4 times as large. There we go. So this is essentially what it's going to be like. We can do a little bit bigger though. That's 160. Okay, 160 by 90 is super small. Let's go with 320 by 180. That's a little bit bigger. There we go. So it's going to be scaled up by 4. That's fine. Let's see. Mariano Sugoi says, that's Game Boy resolution, right? Very small. Nah, Game Boy resolutions and almost all resolutions were very square. I'm starting with the 16:9 resolution because that's what monitors nowadays, almost maybe 50%, I think. That might be the last number I saw. Somewhere around there, 50% of the monitors available are 16 by 9, so most people have them. And then it's followed up by like maybe 1366 by 768 or something like that. But most games, like old school retro games, had like, what's the word? Like very square resolutions, like 256 by 226, stuff like that. I think that was the SNES. Like, I think it was like 256 or 226 by 194, something like that. So they were pretty square. So nowadays, you know, there's no real need to not make games widescreen since people have widescreen monitors. But we still want low resolution to make it feel pixely or just make it easier to make the game. Alright, we're good. No Life says, dude, 16 by 9 monitors make you cringe. Nope. They're widescreen. It's fine. I'm gonna turn on my fan because it's hot in here. I think it's on already. I think it's on already. Okay, so alright, so what we're gonna do, I have no real knowledge of how to work with Ebitin, so I have the docs set up here so you can see, like, I can see how it generally, the functions, like what the functions are, how they work and stuff. Not exactly sure how to do this, but I think I got the general idea. So we're gonna go ahead and try doing some stuff and seeing what happens. So what I have so far is basically the main function runs, and this basically will log a fatal error if there's an error in running the function, if we ever return a function. But basically, we run Ebitin with the update function that we pass in. We pass in also the screen size and how big to upsample the game by, and also the window name. So we'll call this Learning Go Game Dev. We'll just call it that for now. There we go. Alright, and then let's make it so that if you press the escape key, you exit the game. So that's going to be, I guess, something like if ebitin.key is key pressed, yeah, I guess. And then, oops, for the key, we want ebitin.key escape. This is, I don't know. Oh my goodness. So, okay, that was fun. For some reason, I guess it was Adam that was slowing my computer down, maybe? I don't know. Something was really taking it out of my computer. Not sure what. That was really strange. Because, yeah, my computer doesn't generally have problems like that. That was out of the ordinary. Alright, well, I think we're back. Let me see. Yeah, okay, I think we're back. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Well, yeah, so sorry about that. Genuinely, I apologize. I'm not sure exactly how that happened because I wasn't doing too much. There wasn't really yeah, there wasn't really much here. There wasn't really much going on. But whatever. Let's see if we can get back to what we were doing. Let's pull up. Let's go ahead and do everything back again the way that we had it. Let me also take a look here to see if there's something that... Yeah, no, there's like nothing going on right now. Was it Atom? Let's open up Atom one more time. Maybe the autocomplete was just like failing or something. Do this. All right. Okay, there's like nothing going on right now. Although, yeah, 2.1 gigabytes by OBS is a lot. Let's see. All right. So sorry, everybody. Okay. Trinus asked, have you ever explored any other unusual rhythms when making music? Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes I do explore rhythms that are like offbeat, or if you mean like type signatures, yeah. If you mean like rhythms, like rhythm instruments, you know, so yeah, sometimes. Not anything too out of the ordinary, just, you know, kind of stuff that you could see working even if they're not quite what you might expect. Like, you know, water drops instead of snares, you know, stuff like that. But nothing like too out there. Nothing too out there. Let's see. Mariano asked, how do you read the if statement assigning error? Basically, this is a construct of Go, where it's just like, basically you can say like var, we'll say v equals 1, right? And I'm also keeping an eye on my side over here to make sure that nothing crashes. But like v equals 1, and then you can say if v is greater than 0, then blah, whatever. Yeah. But you can also say if v equals 1, v is less than or greater than 0. You could just do it like that. Oh, it's Go. It's the language server. Oh no, what is it doing? Oh my goodness. Okay. Great googly moogly. Okay, so this is Go. This is or not Go. This is Atom. It's like spawning all this stuff. Look at this. Look at all this stuff. Look at all this stuff. It's taking like 100% of my CPU. Doing stuff that I don't need to do. Stop that. Stop all that. Stop. Get rid of that. Get that out of here. What the heck, dude? What the heck, Rooney? Oh my goodness. Alright. So now I know what's up. So it's Atom. So it's Atom's Go language server add-on or whatever. That's not what I want. Bad Atom. Like, what the heck, dude? Like, what kind of design? I don't know. I'm not gonna blame anybody. It's no one's fault. It's just the way it's working with my computer, we'll say, because I'm not sure why the heck it's doing that. Let's go to settings and see if there's something we can do about that. Packages. IDE Go. Yeah, let's disable that. Let's disable that and restart that. That might be all we need to do. We'll see if it hopefully works the same. But yeah, that is not right. I'm glad I checked it again, because I might have thought like, oh well, I guess it was just a weird thing. But yeah, it's not a weird thing. That's Trina says, what operating system is this? This is Solus OS. Okay, so we got Atom, we got stuff running, but nothing's really stressing that hard. Okay, we're good. All right. So yeah, so this is just a way to combine that in answer to your question, Mariano. It's just a way to combine it. Oh, if you just got back. Yeah, okay, you just got back, so I'll just explain it again. Basically, this is a way to combine those statements. So instead of saying like declaring a variable and then comparing it, you can just declare and compare. So that's what I'm doing here. It's just saying I'm declaring ERR to be something, and then I say if ER is not equal to null, then log.fatal. And basically log that so that we can see it. Alright, so let's see if we get the same result here. Looks like it's under control. Do we still have good, Alright, looks like we might still have good, yeah, okay, we still have some good, oh wait, these are only constants. Okay, no, here's some functions. Okay. So yeah, it looks like we still have some good autocomplete, which is good. Let's see. I feel like there was other stuff to this, right? Wasn't there other things in here? That's weird. I thought... okay, we'll see. We'll just say exit. Can we do that? Oh man, I don't remember how to do this error stuff. Let's see. Error. How do we do this? I gotta check it out. I'm gonna have to look it up. Also, let's get some music back going because that's not going right now. That's fine. We can switch to a different song. So we'll go to Another World. That's fine. Alright, looks like this should be better, so we're gonna close that. We should be good at this point. Alright, volume's good. Alright, it's looping. Mariano says, what's Ebiton, an alternative to Raylib, or do you use both? It's basically an alternative. It's also a game development framework. Error set new, okay. It's weird. It should have imported errors. That's strange. There it goes. Okay. Var ERR error. Okay. So there we go. Exit. All right, we're good. So I think this should basically allow us to actually, you know, run the thing. Let's see. Oh, we can actually just do like that. So I guess error would be, I guess, like state, finished state, or game finished state. Let's call it finished state, yeah. There we go. Whoops. There we go. Exit. Yo, let's go. It's working. We back up and running, boys. Okay. Banjo Media says, so how do you start to make a song on Sunfox? I don't know. He called it something else. Okay. So it depends. It all depends. I've been doing a lot of stuff in Sunfox where I just kind of like mess around or start with like a really nice bass line, because that's the game. The kind of music I'm making is very like cyberpunk, futuristic. If you've ever played any kind of like cyberpunk game, it's like a, well, at least what I imagine as cyberpunk. Lots of bass, lots of funk, lots of kind of like high strings, kind of tension and stuff. So like I always start with these songs that I've been making recently with a lot of bass. I start with like a nice little like funky bass, and then I might do some like piano stabs on top. Then I might have like a little lead doing licks, and then I go to the bridge or to the chorus, which is more like solid and more like hummable, and then, you know, back to the funky kind of like riff. So basically it depends on the kind of song, but the way I've been approaching it recently has been like bass, then like chords, and then like drums, then like lead, somewhere around that order. But I like focus on the bass first because I want the bass to like be really prominent. and I've been focusing on like getting something that's really kind of like funky, because that's what I want specifically, is funk. Alright, so that's the idea. Alright, so this is working now, and now the computer is not crashing. Now that we've sussed out exactly why the computer was dying. Adam, you devil, you. But yeah, that's actually really bad. That's all they should be. We gotta do something about that. All right. So anyway, this allows us to exit the game, and when we press the escape button, boom, we can exit. Excellent. Let's go ahead and commit that. Git push. Commit all and push, I guess. Now we can exit with escape. Save. It can't do this. I don't know why it can't do this. Git push. There we go. Okay. Cool. Now let's go ahead and get back to this. So the current state of the game is just a black screen, and you can exit by pressing escape, which is cool. But we want something else. We want to be able to like see something. I was thinking something kind of basic, like a basic game, and I have a plan here that I kind of walked out. I want it to be grid-based. It's a single screen. You have arrow keys and 2 other keys. It's basically kind of an arcade game. It's simple. As a score attack mode is a basic start. So basically, just kind of like maybe a game either where you have different boards that you clear, or just on a score attack mode that just kind of like keeps going. It's just kind of something basic. That's what the idea is. Basically, something really basic to start, and let's just go from there. So I think that's probably the best course of action at the moment. Probably, I guess. You can see this crash. I was just looking over the analytics. Look at that crash, man. Look at that crash from 10 minutes ago. Golly, that was nasty. It died so fast. 451, 452, dude. Like, look at those analytics. Goodness gracious. Anyway, okay. Yeah, Mariano Sugoi says sounds like a snake game. Yeah, it kind of sounds like a snake game. Yeah, kind of does. I think I want maybe something a little bit more complex than Snake, but something kind of fun like that. Absolt says, "What language is this? I've only done a little bit of Java. It looks like Java. It's Go. It's Go Go language." So yeah, I think I want something kind of cool. So I think that's an idea. Is basically we'll see. So I'm thinking things first. Let's go ahead and kick it off with a world. So let's go ahead and create that. We're going to split it up a little bit so that it's not so ugly to look at our project. So let's go ahead and create a new file. We're going to call this world.go. And we'll call also another file player.go, because we're gonna have a player. So package main struct or type player struct. Let's say the package found in a file. Oh, world. Okay. There we go. Okay. I wish that wouldn't pop up. I wish I could like say like, please don't pop up. Like if something goes wrong, don't pop up. Cool. So we have the player, which can have a position, or he'll have an X and Y. We'll say so. X is float 32, Y is float 32. That's fine. And then the world can have a player in it, because why not? There we go. I wish I could crush this, like, just don't pop up, because I know I mess up. Because like, if you mess up, it's just gonna be like, duh, that's not what you do. It's like, that's not, I don't need you to tell me stuff right now. I know about it. I know when there's errors, like, you don't have to tell me. Maybe there's a way to turn it off. because yeah, I don't really need this to pop up like constantly. Jacob Field says, "Hey SolarLune, finally got to catch a stream. Anyways, I was wondering how was the transition from using game engines like BGE and Godot to using Golang and Tiled." Hey Jacob, thank you very much for stopping by. How was the transition? It's not bad at all. There we go. Yeah, don't focus the panel if I fail. Okay, so that's because yeah, if I mean I know when I fail. I can see down there, there's an error. I can see on my thing I'm working with, there's an error. Like, you know, it's fine. Although it'd be nice if it could tell me elsewhere when there's an error, but that's fine because I mean I can, yeah, look at it down there. That's fine. Okay, so this is better. This is a better workflow for me. Okay, yeah, the transition wasn't bad at all. Transition was bad, not at all. It was the hardest thing for me. I mean, it's just not hard. Like, it's different. But it's a different process. You're going to be making things a different way. I guess the hardest part would be learning another language and learning how to, like, really work with that before you go to that other engine. Or, I'm sorry, the other framework. Mariano said, "Didn't you know Golang before using Godot?" I mean, not really. Like, I used Godot first, but that was years ago. If you mean, like, did I know Golang before using Godot this last, like, the most recent time on stream? Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, I don't really know, I didn't know Godot that well. I don't know Golang. I didn't know Golang that well. I worked with it a little bit, like, for maybe a month or so. So, I mean, like, it's not like it's I know go in and out, but it's not a very complex language to learn, so it's nice. So, yeah, I would say overall, like, the hardest thing, let's make a world here. We'll actually have to declare it somewhere else. We'll put it in, here, I guess. Put it out here, rather. Let's put this. Oops. Oh, oops. There we go. Yeah, I knew Golang beforehand, but I didn't know it that well, and I still don't know it that well. It's just, it's a fun tool. It's a fun tool, the language, but it's not like you need Golang rather, to get good. You need to, you know, I mean, like, you don't need to work that hard to get really good with any language in particular that much, I don't think. I feel like, for the most part, most concepts transfer to the point where it's like you don't really have too much trouble going from, you know, engine to framework or anything like that. I think that, okay, I guess I'm kind of like rambling, but basically, I didn't have too much trouble. I would recommend going with whatever you like to use. I don't think engines save that much time in practice. I think the hardest thing is just the process of learning. Once you get good at learning, then you can pick up another language and another framework and just be like, you know, now I'm making stuff. Because the hardest thing is going to be just learning how to do stuff, more so than like the actual what it is that you need to do and the actual what it is that you've learned. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. Mariano asks, what's the difference between colon, equals, and equals? Colon equals is basically making a new variable. Equals is basically, like, basically you can say var v equals 1, or you can just say v colon equals 1. So it's just a kind of a shorthand, but you can't use that shorthand outside of functions. So that's why we can do it here. W colon equals world, rather than var w equals world, like that. Alright, so now we have an update. Let's see. Let's just see if we can do this here. Get delta. Do they have delta time in Ebiton? I don't know if they do. Yeah, it looks. I'm not sure if they do. Let me do a search here. See if they have a delta time. See, they got like ticks per second. Okay, it looks like they don't have delta time, which is fine. For 2D games, it's not that important. It's not really likely that I'm gonna like have trouble with that, so that's fine. Mariano says player is a variable called player of type player, same name. Yep. I mean, you can say like it's because it's in the struct that it works. Otherwise, you would have an issue. But they have to. I mean, I could call it like player object or something like that. Just I guess that's fine because this is supposed to be for clarity, so that's fine. So var world equals new world struct player obj player. Okay, so we'll create here w.player obj equals new player. This is actually going to be a pointer to a player, so we always have the same one. So let's make it new player, turn to player, turn p equals. There we go. That should do it. No change, but that's fine. All right, so this is all working. So update, we'll just call. Whoa, what the heck? Yeah. We'll call update on the player object, which is over here. There we go. Cool. That worked. We're gonna do something a little bit interesting here. The world will have. Let's see. Well, we'll do this. We'll because we have an update function. We're also gonna have a draw function, I guess. And the world we'll call update and then draw on the player. Cool. Alright, so that works. So this is actually working. This is fine. I think this will probably not work at some point. Probably because there's going to be a need to create something, and this is before Everything gets a chance to run. I'm guessing that's the case. That this will this might not work at some stage, because at some point it's going to be like, yeah. Actually, let's see if we can. Yeah, we can do it like that. At some point, this will probably not work because it's going to be like, oh yeah, let's create something that we need like an ebitin.image, and ebitin hasn't run yet, and so it might like crash before it got context or something. So this is just something that we probably will need to like stub out into another function that gets called maybe down here, inside of the main function or something. We'll see. There's not too much like initialization of ebitin. We just run it, so we'll see how it actually does. We might. That actually might not be the case. We might be able to leave it like this. So we'll leave it like this for now. This is a good start, so we'll just push this. Oh wait, no, we gotta. Whatever. Oh. Yeah. Start stubbing out there in the world. Yeah. Okay. All right. Git push. Oops. There we go. Alright, so this is a good start. This is a good start. Okay, so the next step... Actually, let's just change up the music a little bit, because it's kind of annoying. Let's go with... this one. Okay. Alright, so this is a good start. So let's go ahead and draw the player somehow. What we're going to do is give him, I don't know, something to do. I have no idea how to actually draw in this. No Life says, I've never done the whole git commit thing. Are you able to keep code that you upload there private if you're working on a secret project? You can if you pay. I don't pay with GitHub, so I can't have private repos. But you can get a private repo over on Bitbucket. So I do have one on Bitbucket for private projects. It's just public on GitHub. So yeah, there are services where you can host. I'm sorry, either pay or free services where you can go ahead and get a private repo. Bitbucket has one that I know of that's private, and GitHub has one, but you have to pay some sort of annual fee. I don't think it's too much to have private repos. Alright, so let me go ahead and take a quick look here how to draw. Okay, draw image options. Draw image. Okay, so it's on the image itself. So according to this, you draw, oops, it's on the image itself that you're drawing. Okay. So let's go ahead and try that. So basically we need to pass the screen. So now when the world runs, yeah, we need to pass it, which means... I guess we'll just do it like... I guess there's not really too much of a reason to separate the world out into update and draw, so that's fine. We'll just leave it like this. Image, or I guess screen actually. Image, there we go. We can pass it down there. And now in main, we just need to pass it here. And the Abbyton run function passes the screen in. So we got the screen. Okay, so it's drawing. Okay, so now we just say screen dot draw image. We can draw our own image. And there's also UG. Okay, yeah, that's right. It does go there. This is so weird because I remember specifically. Yeah. Oh, maybe that was a feature of the whatchamacallit, the language server. But basically, if you hold control over something, it would like show a pop-up that says what the function was and did and stuff. All right, well, whatever. I have it here on my side anyway. So we can draw an image and we have options as well. So what we'll do, because we want to draw an image of the player. So let's actually use GIMP to make a quick thing. I'm not going to get too bogged down on graphics this time around. I'm going to try to focus on gameplay first. Mariano says Bitbucket and GitLab, for example, are free. Okay, so GitLab is another one. That's very nice. So we'll just go with a 16 by 16 image here. It's going to be slightly not like, it's going to be just like a white square. That's fine. And also just so that people can see what I'm doing, Control A to select. Let me back up a little bit. Pressing Control A and then pressing Control X to cut it out, to basically like cut out the color and make it transparent. Doesn't work because there's no alpha layer. So you go to Layer, Transparency, Add Alpha Layer, or Add Alpha Channel rather. And then this becomes unbolded. That's how you know it's alpha transparent, and you can cut it out then. We'll go with a nice blue for the player. There we go. Let's go ahead and put it in there. We'll make an assets folder. Alright, so now we have two things to watch out for. We have the player PNG file, and the player XCF file, which is GIMP's project file. Alright, so now we'll say we want to draw the sprite, which is a ebitin.image. That's fine. Oops. And this will be a pointer to an image. Oops, a pointer to an image. So we'll just go ahead and do it this way. p.sprite equals ebitin.image. New image from image. I guess maybe load. There's no load image. Let's see. Or, oh, that's right. I think I remember that there was like helper stuff to do loading things. Let me see. Looking over stuff. Ebitin util. Is that what I'm looking for? New image from file. Yeah, okay. So there's a function in ebitin util to load an image from a file. So that's what we'll use. Where usually it pops up. Let's see. So strange. Okay, new image from file. There's the file path and then a filter. So maybe we could just do nil. I don't know. So let's see. It returns a pointer to the image, an image.image, and then an error. So I guess we'll just do like that. Oh, I have to give a filter. So filter linear. There we go. Okay, that looks like that'll work. It says image decoders must be imported when using new image from file. For example, if you want to load a PNG image, you must add this to the import section. Okay. How to solve path depends on your environment. This varies on your desktop or web browser. Note that this doesn't work on mobiles. For productions, instead of using new image from file, it's safer to embed your resources. Okay, so this is fine for now. So what we'll do is we'll make something to pull assets or make it easier to load stuff. Because right now this is going to be a little bit kind of ugly in a sense. Oops, we don't want to push that yet. Let's build. Okay, so it looks like it's at least not crashing. So let's try screen.draw image. Oops. p.sprite. Everything.draw options. Can I use it? Oh, it's got to be a pointer. Oh, okay. So I can probably just do like nil. Let's try that. See how that goes. Doesn't like that. Doesn't like that at all. Let's see. Because it's a nil pointer. Okay, so it has to be something. Okay. So you got a filter, you got color matrix, you got composite mode, you got geometry, image parts, source rect. So there's quite a few things we can mess with there. We're just gonna leave that alone for now, if we can, and see about just drawing this normally. Let's see. Looks like it still isn't working. Maybe because actually p.sprite might be nil. Let's try that and see if p.sprite is nil. Yeah, okay. So p.sprite is never getting loaded. So, oh, because I have it set to test. Whoops, my mistake. So this should go to assets, graphics, player.png. Let's try that and see if that loads. Yeah, looks like it did. All right, so let's go ahead and try drawing now and see if that works. Yo, there it is. And it's in this blocky glory. Let's go. Alright, so we can actually take these out. Because this is working, I'm going to save it at this point. Yeah, because that actually is pretty good. So let's go ahead and commit all. Okay. Adding player sprite file. Sprites. Okay. Cool. Now what we'll do is we're gonna make an assets thing to make this a little bit nicer, because I don't want to have to add like this every time I load up an image, and I don't want to have to like do the entire thing of like finagling this. So I'm because I mean, like, there's gonna be quite a few objects that are gonna need assets, so it's best to just basically make a holder, kind of a directory for assets. So we'll do that now. This will be a variable. Underscore assets. So basically, I'm going to use the convention that anything that starts with an underscore is basically like, don't touch it directly. So like, we shouldn't directly be messing with the assets. We should use functions to reach in there. Let's get some different music here before I continue. There we go. All right. So it's going to be a map of string to asset. Type asset is a struct. And then we'll say get, or a function is going to say get image, going to return a pointer to an ebitin.image, and it's going to reach into the assets thing to get it. So the idea is that basically an asset is a thing. It's not, you know what, it doesn't have to be an asset struct actually. We can just have it be an interface, because that fulfills everything. Return image equals assets. Okay. Assets. Okay, and we just have to cast it to ebitin.image. Oops. It doesn't like that because undefined assets. Oh. Alright, there we go. So that works. So now the only thing we gotta do is basically just create that. Marion always says, how about sounds? Assets is a very global term. Yeah, sounds are going to go in here too. Because basically, I don't know how sounds are set up yet. In Ebitin, I'm going to assume that it's going to be kind of a factory-like method where you have a base, just like images, where you have a base, and then you can draw the image wherever you want with whatever techniques and stuff you want with options, which is pretty much how every framework does it. You have an image that's a resource, and then you might cut it out or whatever, but you can draw it wherever you want. I'm going to guess sounds are similar in that you load in the sound, and then you can play them whenever you want with whatever kind of tweaks you want. So sounds will also go into the assets map. We'll see when we get there. I can always say, oh, sounds don't fit in here, and then I can just rename it from assets to graphics specifically. And then just have it so get image specifically looks in there. So the only thing we actually have to do here is basically say, okay, we'll do it like this. So first we need to see if the image exists in there. We say if exists, then, so basically we want to see if the asset exists, and if it does, then we can get the asset and give it back. So image, or image. So basically, image equals assets image name. Okay, so what we're doing here. Okay, so what we're doing here is basically saying if the image exists, then we want to assign it to this. Because I'm not sure if we can just, if we try to access it, I don't know if it'll return nil or if it'll be an error, essentially. I think that it'll be an error if we try to access, I guess we could try. Let's try it first, because this is an extra little bit that we might not need to do. So let's comment this out real quick. And just say image equals assets image name return image dot. Yeah, that's fine. Because yeah, we might not need to do that. So basically, this is going to just return it in there. So we say instead of that, we'll just do this beforehand. I guess that's the easier way, rather than doing it this way, where we check and stuff. We can just say, if it doesn't exist, then let's add it in there beforehand, and then we can just do this. So that's easy. So we'll say if blank exists equals assets image name. If not exists assets image name equals this. There we go. New image from file returns the image and then other stuff, so we don't need the other stuff. We'll just assume that it did work right now. That's fine. All right, so for now. Okay, so get image returns the image, or adds it to the assets bank if it doesn't exist, and then goes ahead and gives you the actual the item itself. So that's it. Actually, we don't need this after all. That's basically it. Now we don't need this. We don't need this. We can just say p.sprite equals get image player.png, and what this should do is basically say we want to do this assets slash graphics slash plus image name. Oops. Let's go ahead and try that. Crashed. What's the problem? Oh, nil map. There we go. So we got to make the assets map first. Hey, it's working. Yo, let's go. Let's go. All right, so that's working too. So now we have assets thing, so we don't have to actually put this kind of ugly thing all over the place. We can just you just put it here, and then pass it in. Pass it around. Cool. And also, if we call this twice, it'll give us the same image both times, because we only need the images to be loaded once, which is also cool. Very nice and convenient. Let's get some different music. Yeah, this is good. All right, let's build this. Let's go ahead and push this rather. So git push basic asset management functions. Adding get image. I should set this like permanently, but I'm lazy, so I haven't yet to do that. Alright, so this is working. Let's go ahead and try just a basic thing where we just say like p.x. I don't know what is that xxx thing. Let's just do that. Let's go ahead and test that real quick and see how that goes. It's not gonna do anything, I forgot. But yeah, let's go ahead and try this. So I think what we have to do is change the geom. Let's see. So you can skew translate, I guess, by p.x. Doesn't like that because they're float 64s. Okay. I guess we'll just use float 64 to make it this convenient. Yo, let's go. Cool. does it actually move in like increments? Yo, check that out! Check that out, that's crazy. That's pretty crazy. Okay. It's like, let's actually make this a little bit more detailed so we can actually see what it's doing. I pretty much know what it's doing, but I just want to see. Oh, I forgot. Specific controls for this. Yeah, okay, so it's like, it's phasing. Alright. That's cool, though. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to make him a little... I was thinking something kind of platformer-y, so we're going to make him a little bit thinner. So we can have, like, some actual platform physics in here. Yeah, okay, that's good. Alright, so this is a good start. So this is our character, he's sliding across slowly but surely. So now what we gotta do is just make some sort of world for him to inhabit. And this should be as simple to actually like position him. We should be able to just go like p.x equals like 32, p.y equals 32. There we go, yeah, he's right where he should be. Cool. So now let's go ahead and draw the world. So what we're going to do about this is... what can we do? We're going to need to draw him somehow. So I guess we're going to make a tile set. Which means we need some sort of levels. So let's see. Mariano Silver says maybe you should round the positions while drawing. When drawing, looks scary in my opinion. Yeah, maybe so. That might be a good idea. Either that or just don't move them by increments like this. But I guess that's kind of impossible because that might be too fast. 1 pixel a frame. Yeah, that's kind of fast. I can't say that there. Well, it might be fine to move him to basically just move him by whole values. That might be okay. So we'll leave it because I mean we can like round it, but we have to do that for everything. So let's just assume that we're not gonna use anything less than whole values for now. Okay, so he's moving. So let's go ahead and make a level thing here. Did we change anything? I guess I changed the player. I changed the way he looks. So I'll go ahead and commit that, I guess. Yeah, let's see. Assets. Oh, what? Untracked files? I didn't... That's weird. Wait, I thought I tracked source... I thought I tracked that. Let's see. I don't want to add everything, I don't think. I guess I do want to add everything. Okay, yeah. Oh, whoops! I didn't commit those. Oh well. Whoops! I wasn't paying attention. Alright, well, my bad. Sorry. We'll close that. Alright, well. Now we know. Okay, so that's good. So now we need some sort of like mechanic for drawing the world and some mechanic for holding the world in the physical, like some mechanic for holding the world. So I'm probably going to go with just, I mean, let me see. What's the world? Let's close on this stuff. What's the world? 320 by 180. Let's see. So 320 divided by 16. Yeah. So that's 20. All right. So let's make an example. Let's make an example world level. Mariano says, have you tried loading and rendering 3D models with Go? Nope. I know that RayLib has some 3D stuff in it, but not too much. It's just kind of like just some basic 3D stuff. Well, that's the appeal of it. It's something that's kind of appealing, is doing 3D by code. I've never ever done 3D just manually like this. 2D, you know, yeah, sometimes, rarely, but 3D is like completely out of my element. But at the same time, I think I'd like to try something that's like simple, where it's just like, oh yeah, just do this, do that, and there you go, boom, it's on the screen. It's like, what? Like, I don't have to import it into like an engine. I don't have to do all this stuff. Like, I can just like say I want it at 0, 0, 0, and it'll be there. That's interesting. Setting up lighting sounds hard to do on code, says Mariano. Yeah, but I mean, you know, you probably would import something out of Blender or whatever your 3D modeler you want it to, like, if you wanted to actually set up your world, like your game level. I would still use a 3D modeler to like position everything and like say where I wanted the lights to be and all that, but like it could be really nice and clean. RuneScape fam says the sound of mechanical keyboards is so nice, satisfying. Thank you. I was gonna say thank you, like I did something. Yeah, they're very nice, very nice. No Life says, what happened to that Popcorn Man 3D platform you were making? I am not making it anymore. I'm just not. Like, I could go back, I could make more, but I haven't really done too much with it since I put it on GitHub. I was looking at Armory 3D recently, and it's definitely a good looking 3D engine, but at the same time it seems kind of heavy. Maybe? I don't know. I got to see more about it. But that's a very interesting 3D engine I could see using. Armory definitely has been looking like really good, but at the same time, like, I wouldn't really need that much power, and I want it to be kind of a lighter engine, so I wonder if I would do better with like just going through it with coding or something like that, just manually making 3D stuff. I don't know. I have to see. Alright, so for a level, there's a couple ways this could go. One would be to like put it into a Go construct, I guess. I'm not sure if it can get to it from here, but if I put it as a array, Mariano asks, why don't you use tiled? Well, because I might not need tiled. I'm trying to see if basically I can make something, approach it from a simpler approach, a simpler angle, rather than having to, you know, break out a tile editor for everything. You know, if you were making Pac-Man, like, or you know, it's just something really simple, you might not need like a full-on tile editor. There's other ways to make levels. Mariano says then you could use CSV with numbers 000, 010, 111. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too. I could do that. I could also like make something like this, like do 20 by 11, and then just draw it in. I don't need to show the grid. Transparency. And just be like, yeah. And like this is the player. Why is this? Oh, it's snapping to the grid. I was like, why is this snapping to the grid? Okay. That could kind of work. And past it, get image tile ID dot p plus PNG, something like color codes. Yeah, I'm thinking that because I mean, like with this, it's a very visual way to edit things already. It's very simple, it's very clean, and it's something that can be easily expanded upon. It's weird. I thought for a second my left headphone went out. I was like, what? I just got like this humming. Let's see. I could do it from this approach. The only downside is that I would need to like remember what color is what thing. Like I would need to remember this is the color specifically for the player, like this one. Not this blue, but this blue. But I guess if I were to have my own palette for levels, that could work. But then if I wanted to change that, I'd have to change the order. But this is definitely approachable, and I kind of wanted something that's like where you don't have to, like it's a simple approach to things, but this way you don't have to add anything. You don't have to like download tiled. You don't have to like if you wanted to take this learning project on your own and like download it and say, oh, I want to make my own level. You don't have to get used to a whole other piece of software. You don't have to get used to like an entire other thing. You can just be like, oh, let me just add another image to the palette list, because I can save this as XCV. You know, let me just add another image to the palette list that represents the color, and then just add my other. I'm sorry, I'm going ahead of myself. But basically, like if I wanted to have it so that another person could like just add another level, they can just draw it, and then it'll just appear in game like magic. It'll be super simple. I mean, I wouldn't recommend this for like if you were making an RPG or something, but like this is doable. This is like a playable. I mean, like boom, it's there. I kind of like that. I kind of like how simple it is. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to go with this approach. Okay. So here's what we're going to do, because this actually will work. So what we're going to do, this is kind of weird. Oh man, did I? Oh, I think I. Whoops. I think I was. Oops. I think I just like nuked my palette by accident. Let me see. Whoops. I nuked the palette, didn't I? Oh man, yeah. I was messing with the palette. All right. So let's do this. We'll cut this out. Yeah, delete the base. And we'll... Oh, because I was editing it. Okay, so let's go ahead and open or rather like layer. I don't quite remember how to do these colors. No, wait. Image transform. My memory is failing. Okay. Can I just like create a new palette? No. Okay, so you can't do it like that. Yeah, we can delete it. Oh man, I don't remember how to do this. Edit this palette, create a new palette, refresh palettes. Oh man, I don't remember how to import a palette. Okay, here we go, import. I was having so much trouble. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab it. My old palette that I use. Projects, palettes, oops, palettes. I think it was this one? This one? Might have been that one. Let's try this one. Seriously? You don't know what a PNG file is when it comes to palettes? Shame on you. I think it was this one. Yeah, it's this one. Okay. I think this is the right one. Okay. So yeah, we'll just I'm doing this horribly. Forgive me. I don't do this nearly often enough. Color history, edit palette. Can't type up here for some reason. Okay, let's just do this. Import palette, image. Alright, that's fine. There, fine, okay. Okay. Oh, it's because this is in color map mode. Okay, we'll close this. Cool. Mariano says, we miss you, Sprite. Yeah, I miss Sprite. Sprite was a good program, man. But that's okay. Okay. So the idea is basically we can make a palette. The only thing is that basically we have to export that palette into some sort of format. Temp1261 says, what happened to Sprite? Oh, it doesn't load on this computer. I have to figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna do something else here. Something that might make this a little easier for us. And what I'm thinking is basically, it might be easier if we put the palette somewhere on the image. The only downside of that is, yeah, that one won't quite work. I guess we'll have to put that palette in its own image. Well, let's not worry about the palette so much right now. Let's just worry about getting this working. This is, okay, so yeah, it is. And this is just plain black and white, okay. Alright, so we got white, black, and then we'll have blue. There, that's fine. Whoops, that's fine. We'll just put it like this. Yeah, that's fine, level 1. We'll export that as well. Because yeah, that way we don't have to have a TXT file. Well, how much would it have taken to define this as a TXT file? It's 20 across, right? So that's kind of a lot, yeah. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it would have been like this, something like that. That's a little much, yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to edit. Yeah, okay. So I think we're making a better approach here with this PNG file, this tiny PNG file. Why? What? That's weird. Okay. Mariano says you shouldn't have a colon at the end. The end of what? Colon? A colon where? Oh, do you mean a comma at the end of that? Oh, you're talking about the level? Yeah, I was just looking at to see what it would be like to edit. It's not. I'm not going that way. Timp says, "What happened to the cloud game?" I have to come up with a better idea for a game than that. I was like, I was trying something, but it's like, I didn't really have too much of an idea. This is a little bit more defined. A little bit more defined. I know I wanted it to be kind of arcadey. I think I wanted something like you could go into doors or like portals. Like go in from portal to portal to different locations on the same level, but just kind of like a. Why can't I zoom in by scrolling the mouse? Also, did it? Okay, I thought like it got smaller. But yeah, like you go into different doors and stuff, and like go in a door here and end up like up here or something like that. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Okay, so the player's still there. So what we're gonna do now is just make it a method of actually like drawing the level using the tile set. So let's commit this real quick. These are new. I wish I could just right click on them and select the option to add, but whatever. Okay, so we're adding simple level assets. Now what we... Okay, it is getting smaller. I thought for sure, like, it was just me. But yeah, it's definitely, like, getting smaller. Alright, so I'll just look at it here. Alright, so we have the player, which is going to be just plain blue. And then we'll have enemies, which are plain red. That's fine. It's easy to come up with. Doors can be green, we'll say, if there's doors. Which it sounds like there might be. So we'll put an enemy here. That's fine. So black will be, like, you can't stand there. White will be blank. And that's it. So this is a good start. We'll just do something simple here because I want a little bit of a area to examine this, how this is going to work. There we go. Tip says programmer art is best art. We'll see. We'll see about that. All right. So what we got to do. I still have to push these, I guess. I guess that's why they're yellow. So now we just have to make a way of actually drawing the world. So we'll put that here. We'll say draw world. Or I guess draw tiles would be better. Just to make it a little easier for us to program this. So now what we're going to do, and we need to pass the screen in there. There we go. Now what we'll do, we'll just draw it. So we'll say screen.draw image, get image, tile set.png. Draw image options. I think this has to be a pointer, is that right? Pointer. Okay. Alright, looks like it might be working. Let's go over here and just make this look a little bit different so we can tell if it's actually working or not. Okay. So yeah, we'll... Oops. Let's go back. So we'll just go with light gray. Alright, let's see if that actually is working. Alright, so it looks like it's working. So we actually don't need to draw the white. I just have a white here as a placeholder. We don't actually have to have white there. We can clear it to a color, so we'll clear it to white. That's fine. So let's actually do that. So we go here, we roll update. So screen.draw. Let's see, is drawing images the only way of drawing things, or can you draw other things like rectangles and stuff? Let's see. Draw. Okay, draw rect. What about clear? Oh snap! There's no concept of clearing. Oh, that's Ebiton util. Okay. Clear. Okay, you can clear an image, but it clears to basically black. Oh. Okay. So there's no way to clear to white, so we'll have to just draw to white. So Ebiton util dot. Oh, come on. We won't import it. All right, fine. Draw rect. Okay, so there's an option to draw rectangles, so we'll go with that. Draw rect. So we'll draw it from to the screen. We'll draw 0, 0, screen W, screen H, and then we'll go with color. So I got white? I don't know. Let's see. Can't use screen. Okay, so let's complain about that. Float 64. Float. Alright, so this should give us a white background now. There we go. Nice. Look at them go. Alright, so now we have the image, and we just need to draw the tiles. So we just have to basically loop through the image, the level, this, and basically determine which to draw based on the colors that we have in the image. Black is unpassable, white is blank. I guess I could have like made this transparent, but there's not really a reason to do that. It's fine. It can just be white and black, I guess. It's fine. Alright. Cool. So we'll also have a level number, so we can basically determine which level you're on. So I guess we could do it like this. Yeah, level, yeah, maybe like that. Or yeah, that's fine. So No Life says, how did you make the dude's movement smoother, not phasing anymore? I don't know what you mean. It's just he moves like that. I don't know what you mean by phasing. Oh, phasing. Oh, I see what you mean. Because now he's moving in whole integers rather than 0.1 a fraction. Because when he's moving in fractions, that means that he has to like, yeah, do like that, because it's basically upscaling. So he, I really like that. I really do like that like ghosting effect. It's like slow motion. Yeah. So just moving in whole numbers is fine. All right. So what we're gonna do then is we just have to basically use this to draw all of the black spaces. So what we can do for that, well, I guess we made a couple of different changes here. Let's go ahead and commit that. Commit all. Nothing new. Okay, so we modified the game. We've modified main, world. Okay. Alright, so now we just have to actually render the level using the path to it. So for default beginning, we're just going to say LW dot the world's level is 1. And then we just have to load in the image itself. So level equals get image. So then the world's level, doesn't like that. It needs to convert it to, can't convert, so I don't think I can actually just go like stream. Yeah, I don't think that'll work. I need to do like tools or something like that. Oh, string convert. Sorry about that. Sorry about that, whoopsie doodle. So, yeah. Sorry, as it turns out, basically the way that like my house is set up, I guess, when someone uses the microwave, the internet dies. So like if someone cooks something, it dies. Why? I don't know. It just does. It's been that way for a while. You know, wireless radiation interference. I don't know. Mariano Sulugoi. Let's see. You can round the values while drawing. That'll keep the speed without affecting the rendering. Yeah, but I don't want to do that. I don't want to round it off. At least not right now. We'll see. Maybe I will later. But I'll see about rounding it off at some point. Alright, so we'll do a log here. There we go. Let's see how this goes. So basically, it should crash. Why didn't it crash? Oh, I guess actually it won't be nil. It'll just be a. No wait, it'll be nil, right? Oh, return error. Okay. We'll do it like this. What? Undefined error. Okay. Can't load the image. Okay. Alright, there we go. So this will basically crash out if we actually try to, if it, yeah, it couldn't load. So it couldn't load level1.png. Oh, that's because it's not in graphics. I see, it's not in graphics. So this assumes that's in graphics, but it's not actually there. Alright, so... Well, I guess this is still a level, I mean a graphics, so we'll put it in there, under the graphics levels thing like that. That's fine, I guess. I guess it's fine. Hey, it worked. Okay, so now the map exists, so we'll close that out. So we should be able to get the width of the map, which should be 20. There we go, it's 20. Cool. So we say for y, I equals 0, or I guess x equals, well, I'm sorry, y equals 0. Y is less than size.dy y plus plus. For x equals 0, x is less than size.dx. Oops, x plus plus. Okay. And then we say x, y. Let's try that. Okay, alright, okay, alright. So this is pretty good. So it's looping through 0 to 19 and going back. So now we just have to basically say what we're looking at. So what we need to do is basically define what the colors mean. So when it sees black, it knows that it needs to put in this solid texture. If it sees white, it knows to put in nothing. If it sees blue, it knows to put the player there, etc., etc. So that's what we're gonna do. How we're gonna do that is basically we're gonna make a map. I guess a list. It needs to be an array, like a list, right? Like, yeah. So we'll say palette, or I guess color map equals oh man, how do I want to do this? Because I mean, if it's black, we want that to mean solid. So I guess we'll just do it here. We'll just say color equals level map dot at xy if color equals wait a second. What the heck? What is this? What is the color? RGBA. RGB return. Oh. Ew. Yuck. Alright, well. Fine. Mariano says, I think you should cache the tile set because at some point you will want to make 16 by 16 tiles, I guess. I am caching the tile set. I'm not sure if that's what you mean, but let me see. Yeah, I cached it already as an image. Do you mean like cache it another way, or? Okay, so color is levelmap.at. Okay, so it's so weird. All right, so we'll just do it like this: xy.rgba, because CRCG CA. Okay, we don't really care about CA actually. Okay, so we say if CR to 0, CG is to 0, CB is to 0. This is black. No, that's the map. I mean what tile to draw for each color, like a brick tile. Yeah. I'll catch the tile set as well. I'm caching it here. I mean it's also an image, so I'm caching it basically in the get image thing. I think I understand what you're saying. Well, let me get a little further in before I see about optimizing or anything like that. So this is going to be black, so that means that we can basically set that up as follows. Draw options dot I guess source. Right. Image.rectangle. Okay, equals take the address. Oh, it's a function, that's why. Oh, this has gotta be a pointer. Oops. Okay. Can't use. Are you serious? Fine. Alright, let's do it the way this I have started with. We'll just do it like this. I think I can do it this way. Oops. There, cool. Alright, so this should kind of work. So the idea is basically we're seeing the color here, and then we're rendering it, so now we have to just draw it to the screen. Now I think Ableton does do a little bit of like performance stuff, if I know this correctly. Let's see. I think it was in, let's see, performance tips maybe? make similar draw function calls successive. The less draw commands, the better the performance is. One drawing function like draw image or fill is usually treated as one internal draw command, but there is an exception. Successive drawing commands are treated as one draw command when the below conditions are satisfied. All the functions are draw image, all the render targets are the same. A in a.draw image, all the render sources are the same. B in a.draw image. All the color im are the same, and all the other stuff is the same. Okay, so basically we want to try to keep everything the same if at all possible. So we need to draw the tiles to the screen in one go, I guess. So we can do this. We need to draw them. And then we need to draw their location as well. So actually I guess we can move this down. Well, yeah, we can move that down a little bit. This, the rectangle is always going to be 16. Well, that's fine, I guess, yeah. So we're saying if it's this is where we want to draw the thing from. Actually, I guess it'd be 16 over 32 over, because this is black, right? And that's the, well, I guess we could, let's move this over, right? Because there's no point in not having a blank space, because I mean, well, you know what? Let's keep that blank space. That way we can use that later, I guess. I don't know. That's stupid. I don't know. We'll leave it this way. We'll leave it this way. Let's make this a little more ornate too, just so we can see it a little easier. That like something is drawing. That's fine. Okay, that's good, I think. So now we just have to actually position this. So draw options dot geom dot translate x, y. Now we need to convert these to float 64. And then we just need to multiply that by the cell size, which is 16 right here. And that might work. Let's see. Okay, so that's right. Let's actually change this up a little bit so it's only drawing there. So it's only drawing when it's black. So we translating it x times 16, y times 16, 0, 1, 16, x, y. Let's see. Oh, oops. Save this over in here. I just want to see where along the lines things are kind of going wrong here. Let's see. You're not reinitializing draw options inside of the for loop, so our translation is being accumulated, leaving the second row out of the screen. Thank you. You are very much right. I forgot because draw options. Yeah, that's right. You're right. Thank you. So I'm gonna just reinitialize it down here, I guess. After the X, we'll just do like this. Reset. There we go. Still not working, but that's okay. Let's see. 9, 4, 10, 4, 9, 5, 10, 5. Nope, inside the loop. I am inside the loop. First loop. What? X equals 1. This is right. Yeah, because it's... It translates, we draw, we reset. It translates, we draw, we reset. Right? Let's see. Can I maybe print this out? Let's see. Yeah, these numbers are way off if this is what it's supposed to be. Let's see. So that's the translation X and Y. Yeah, these are way off. 720, 640, 880, 704, 720, 800, 880, 880. Why are the numbers so much different? Let's see. Let's try resetting before, I guess. There we go, thank you. I forgot to reset. Okay. Alright, cool, cool, cool. So this is actually working. This is working. This is working fine. So we actually... Yo, can I try something real quick? Is this live? I think this might be live. So if I were like... Okay. Okay, that's right, that's right, that's right. I was about to say, I was like, oh man, that would be crazy if it was live. Let's see if we can get it to be live. This is actually working, I think. This is actually drawing, yeah, it's actually drawing the tiles. So we'll commit this. This is working. We'll say, yeah. Get restructure. Assets folder, adding, file, drawing, save. Okay, let's push that. Okay, so the current thing that we're going to do next is we're going to go ahead and see about reloading the image if it... Okay, so my internet is like dropping out some more. It's, yeah, it's really having trouble. Internet is wavering. Someone is cooking. Yeah, someone says someone is cooking. I think someone might be cooking. Someone might be cooking again. Alright, well, it's rising. Okay. Dropped. It's rising. Yeah, it's having some trouble. Alright, well, it seems like it might be back up a little bit. Alright, let's see if this works. So we might be able to just like... Yo, that's so cool. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. There's this strip down at the bottom. I guess I can just do something like this to make it a little bit easier. Yeah, that way it fills in. Alright, so this is actually working. Cool. So now, what we'll do we'll position this guy So we actually only need to do this if it's drawing something, so... I guess what the one way we can do this is something like this. R equals var R is a pointer. No, we can't do it like that. Let's see. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. R empty is just like a rectangle contains no points. Okay, so we'll just do it like this. This is wasteful, but that's fine. And then we can say if r.empty. And then we can actually do this. That way we can kind of consolidate this a little bit better. There we go. Okay, so now we have to actually like position this. We want to position the player, so we're just gonna say like w.player.x equals what is that? Equals x. Oops. I guess we could probably do like a maybe a cx cy kind of thing, or like gx gy, something like that. Let's see. I guess WX would probably be better, right? Like world X and Y. Then we can just replace these with WX, WY. Then we can also replace this with WX, WY. Something like that, because it's not filled 64, okay. See, this should work, right? Shouldn't it? Oh, is it like 0 to 1? Maybe it's 0 to 1. 65, 535. What the heck? Alright. Let's see. Mariano says this should only happen in the first frame. Yeah, I was thinking about that. You're right. Oh, so UN32. Okay. There's no easier way to do this. I guess not. Alright. Is there any better way to do that? Seems like UN8 would be better. Cool, so it's working, but it seems like it might be like reversed or something. Let's see. Something's kind of weird about this. Why is he down there? He should be here. Why is he over there? XWY, WSWY, X. Yeah, it's weird. Why is he over there? 272, 144. If WB, RGB, RGBA, RGB. I don't know why it's doing that. What is that supposed to be, that XXX? Oh. Oh, it's because it's white. Oh, okay. Of course. Okay, right. There we go. Okay. All right, 65535. All right, so we're on the right track. All right, we're good. So now, yeah, like Mariano said, that should only happen on the first frame. So we gotta do this, but up here. Actually, let's do it like this. We'll run W. Parse world. Don't need that. Don't need this. Don't need this. We're gonna after that, do this. And just put this back in here. Yeah, cool. Alright, we're good. Let's see. Parse world. Okay. So that happens. Okay. Let's move that out. We'll put this in here. And this could be just reset world actually. That way we can call this whenever we want to actually reset the game world. Alright. Cool. That means that we don't have to have this here anymore. Okay, I think we're good. Let's see if this works. Cool. Let's actually test it by giving ourselves the ability to reset it. Whoops, I don't need the debugger. How do I... Oh, there we go. Okay, so let's go ahead and say if everything dot key is key pressed, everything dot key r w dot reset world. There we go, so that should allow us to reset the game world by pressing R. Hey, it's working. That also means that I took out the ability to do live whatever, because it's just live reloading, because it's not really that useful. We can just, it should have been where we can press R to do that. So I guess what we'll do is do this. So we're going to use this after all. There we go. Cool. So this is actually working. This is a nice little base. Cool. Cool. Very nice. Emeka Nkurime says, I guess that's right, says, did you participate in Blood and Dare? Nope. I don't have time. I got other stuff I need to do every week and every weekend. Alright, let's do a couple more things. Let's commit this first, because this is a pretty major change. It's kind of unfortunate that there's no like easy collapse for these. There's so much code that's the same, but there's not really an easy way to like. We don't actually need to loop that high for this, because we're only looping through the viewable world. Yeah, that's fine. Let's be a little nicer with the colors, I guess. We can actually like make this look a little interesting. Oops. Cool. That actually doesn't look too bad. Cool. Alright, so let's go ahead and actually proceed with maybe like doing collision detection and stuff. Manager Media says, hi, I'm back. What have I missed? You've missed like the entire beginning of a game. Look at this. It's beautiful. Look at him go. He's so eager. He's so eager to play. Eager to please. Eager to beat the enemy. Eager to go down in a hail of bullets. Eager. I don't know what else to say. I mean, he's look at that grin. Look at that grin. He's so ready. But yeah, you haven't really missed anything. Like nothing really happened. So far we have a level loading system. The ability to make levels just by drawing, which is cool. That's a nice little touch. Yeah. So you know, that's kind of a cool little thing. And this is basically just because I'm doing this as a learning, partially because this is a learning resource. Also, this is a really simple game, so I feel like it would probably be best to kind of keep things like really simple and not confuse it a lot. So that's why I'm going for something that's like kind of dead simple, but at the same time, it's, you know, it works. It works really well. So let's go ahead and say that this character, we'll round his corners a little bit. Maybe. I don't know. I like him better when he was square. I liked him better when he was square. Okay, so yeah, this is cool. This is a cool little beginning. What we can do actually is, it makes more sense rather than doing it like this. We can just go ahead and say assets. Just make map string interface 0. Basically, that way we can actually just reload all assets by restarting the game. So if we wanted to, for example, round this guy or give him a headband or something. When we restart. I stopped. The game stopped. Whoops. Alright, well, anyway. The idea is basically we can, yeah, you can just go ahead and restart the game and the assets will change. So that's fine. That way we don't have to do, it's not just for, that way it's not just for maps, it's for everything. Mariana Surgoy is not a fan of the underscore. That's understandable, but I mean, I guess we should, but still, we shouldn't directly touch the assets map. Like, we shouldn't grab stuff out of it. But I guess that's fine. Yeah, it doesn't really help that much. It's only for this one thing, so it doesn't really make sense to do it for this one thing. And you're not really going to grab anything out of there anyway, because you have to cast stuff, so it's just easier to use a function, so that's fine. So if we, yeah, there's no point in really doing it any other way, that's fine. Alright, so we're good. This is working. Next thing we're going to do, oh yeah, and in case you're wondering if you're maybe, it's kind of weird when you're not, like, actively, when Windows not active, the game is, like, not running. But it's, oh, I was going to say something. Man, I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, if you're just coming to the chat, if you're just coming to the stream, maybe you're a little bit late, there's a link, and I forgot to put the link in the description for this. Whoops. But yeah, there's a place where you can go ahead and see my game as it's like coming together. Let me actually put that somewhere where people can check it out, because, you know, that's wise. I'm just adding the link to this to the GitHub repo for this little project to the description. There we go. Banjo says, so Solar, how do you start the music making process? Sorry that this is so off topic. It's not so off topic. It's not too off topic. That's a good question. It depends. It depends on the kind of song I'm trying to make and how I approach it. Different songs I approach in different ways. I think I mentioned this. Maybe it was a different person who asked or something. But basically, if I am basically going to make something like I know is going to like really rely on bass, then I go ahead and start with the bass. If I'm making something that's going to be like a banger that's just got to like have a heavy beat and really hummable, you know, like melody, then I might start with the beat and then like get the chords down and then get the melody down, and then the bass is just like taking the lowest chord note from the chord and then just pushing it down into the bass range. So it's like it depends on the kind of to start at least. It depends on basically what kind of song I'm making. The most recent songs I've been working on have been like cyberpunk, futuristic kind of songs, so that's what I've been starting with, is a lot of like funky bass and stuff, licks, you know, bass licks and stuff like that, because I wanted to have a really strong bass as opposed to, you know, really so much of a focus on like the strings and things. Like the bass and the beat has to be really like shuffling, so that's what I focus on mainly, and then like some really nice little stabs and stuff. So I would say like to start the process, maybe like to begin, maybe think about like what you want to start with. Like, what's the kind of song you want to make? Like, what is it? Are you trying to make like an orchestral song? Are you trying to make like a you know, groove? Are you trying to make like a electro? Are you trying to make like a video game tune or a chip tune? Are you trying to make something for a specific project, or just something that sounds like something else? So like, if I guess to start might be to identify what you're trying to make, and if you don't know what you're trying to make, because maybe you don't have any real project or idea yet, maybe you could start looking around for something that you'd like to try. Maybe you know, could think about maybe old video games and things like that, and look at different songs that really rocked from, you know, different soundtracks of games that used to exist, different older games, mainly because like, I think if you try to if you start with a video game soundtrack, I think that might be good, because a lot of video game soundtracks were really good despite the fact that they were playing on really primitive equipment. So if you start with that idea, like, okay, why can a Mega Man song rock so hard even though, you know, it might not be running on the world's greatest hardware? Like, why can it be like a really funky tune, or a Mega Man Battle Network song can be so so catchy, even though, you know, you're playing it on a little portable handheld as opposed to out of speakers of, you know, somebody's living room, as they are listening to it, you know, like they would listen to an orchestral piece. Like, why can it sound so good? And if you can, and you know, that's because a lot of it depends on the basics, right? So even though it's, you know, a chip tune, even though it's a video game tune, you know, something really simple in terms of technological capability, why can it be so bumpy and jumpy and, you know, such a good beat? Is because fundamentally it's well composed, and the instruments, even if they're really simple, sit in the ranges that they need to sit to fill the roles that they need to fill. So when you look at a song from, you know, a Capcom game, even though it's, you know, you can make something that sounds better technically nowadays just because, you know, you have access to, you know, Fruity Loops or Reason or, you know, Reaper or Sunbox or whatever you use. You know, you might not make something that's composed as well or as good. And I'm not saying, you know, you, but I mean you, like, in general, as a person who composes, an individual. So in any case, what I would say to start off would be to identify what kind of music you like, and then try making music like that. I might also recommend trying to imitate simpler styles of music, or simpler music from a simpler era. That way you can kind of isolate why it sounds good and work your way up from there, rather than trying to imitate maybe the most recent pop song. Maybe try for something from the 70s or 60s, in terms of, I mean, a simple song from then, because I know that there was a lot of songs that were great, that sound absolutely insane, you know, with guitars and things like that. But I mean, I'm talking about, like, looking at a jazz song. Like, if you want to make jazz, look at a really nice jazz song, but that is relatively simple technically, and maybe just more focused on the composition and how you can improve that aspect. Because if you can get good composition, you can make anything sound good. Basically, any sample, even if it sounds like trash, can sound absolutely like, you know, a banger if you compose it right. More or less. I mean, you know, you can't do the impossible. But I mean, you know, that's why some of the songs from Amiga games 20 years ago sound incredible, you know, nowadays still, is because the use of the synths, the use of the samples were really well done, and they all mesh together along with the composition to make really great songs. So that's what I would recommend. Basically, it's just, for me, I would recommend, like, you know, from my perspective, I would say, like, focus on picking up composition and how, you know, how to make good music from a start like that. I don't know, something like that. Mariano, sorry, I just got your, I've been talking for the past like 15 minutes, but basically, how long will you stay? About now. This is about when I'm gonna fold up, I think. Caterpickle says, what's up, Caterpickle? Thank you very much for coming by. But yeah, this is basically where I'm gonna fold up. We made quite a bit of progress, which is great, into making this little game world. Allowing the player to move around would be good, but that doing collision testing is like a whole thing that you have to, like, really like do. There's a lot you got to do for collision testing to make it work right, and I'm not sure if I want to approach that just yet. But this is a good start. This is definitely a good start. What we could do now I think about it, this is kind of stupid. I didn't have to do it like this. I'll just move this over. There's no reason not to move it over. What we could do is do something like this as well. Oh, I moved it up. I was wondering, like, why is this so weirdly positioned? Okay, there we go. What I'm gonna do here is make a kind of secondary ground piece that is below. See if that works. The idea is basically something else. I don't know. Banjo Media says he's so eager. The character, I guess. Yeah, he kind of is eager. All right, this isn't gonna work because we have to adjust the tile now. So that's gonna be like this. There we go. So now though we can do like. Okay. There's a couple ways we can do this. I'm gonna say this for to do, I guess. I could say to do, expand this out, or replace this with codes, so we can easily see what code is where. Also, to do would be to replace this with color codes. Well, I guess actually, the better way to do this would be to replace this with a data structure to make it easier to see what colors are at one point. Well, I guess we don't really need to do that. We just, I would like to use codes though. Basically, instead of you doing this, because this is awkward, I would like to say like level map.x at xy equals black or something like that. That way I could say like, actually we'll do that next. We'll do that next before I go, because this is working currently pretty well. So we'll leave it like it is. We'll take out this to do, and this is yeah, the level's drawing. I think I went a little bit over with the colors, maybe. Maybe. We'll save it the way it is, maybe. Oops, I always get that confused. Okay, so yeah, let's just let's commit this, commit all. I'll say improving the graphics, because I'm not sure about that. Also, improving, adding level, fixing up level, rendering tech. Alright, now it's pushed again to my repo, so people can check it out. Alright, good. So the next thing I'm going to do is basically make this a little more easy. We're going to make a function that does this for us. Does this kind of weird part. So it's a little more comfortable. Code at xy int. It returns a color code. Or I guess logo code, we'll call it that. So basically the idea behind this is that there's a level code. How does this work? Oh, it's a const. Empty, there's iota, and then like solid, something like that. That doesn't work. Let's see. How does this work again? Like that? Oh man, I don't remember. Okay, hold on. Let me do a quick check on how to do this again, because I've forgotten. Equals iota const I don't remember how to do this. Let me see. It's because type byte size equals the float 64 byte size 1. Okay, I think I got it. So let's do that. There we go. Okay. So level code. So I can say like level code is int to make it so that it returns an integer. But why would I do that? Okay, so I guess there's no real reason to do that. Never mind. So I'll just do like this. Empty, solid. Alright. So it returns an int. So what we're going to do then is this. Missing function. Oh, there we go. All right, so we say if cr is equal to 0 and cg is equal to 0 and cb is equal to 0, return level solid level map. All right, so I'm going to make this a little more easy. The level, we'll make this the level number, and also provide access to the level map itself, or level image, we'll call it. And that will be the everything.image. Or that's stupid. We'll just go with level num. Never mind. This is stupid. I wasn't thinking. I can just grab it like this. There we go. All right. We good. All right. I think I got it. I think I got it. So then now we don't need this. And we can just say if w.code at xy is equal to level solid. Yeah, there we go. That's much better, right? That's easy. Now we can just look at that. Whoops, we don't need to push this. Boom. Now the good thing about that is we can say else if code at xy minus 1 is also level solid, then we can just do like this to use the different texture. Yo, check it out. Well, wait. I guess actually it's this. Oh, I see. Okay, never mind. We do need to do it like this. Like that. But then, if the code above is also solid, then we can just say image rect. Yeah, there we go. And then we're good to go. Something like that, anyway. Yeah, so that kind of works. That kind of works. We just have to use a better texture, because that's kind of trash. But the idea is there. Why is this not? Why is this snapping to the wrong location? Why is it snapping to like not the midpoint of this texture? What the heck, dude? Makes no sense. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna save that just because this kind of works for like a doorway. I'm gonna move this. We'll move this down here. So what we'll do, there's a couple things we can do. One is, let's see. Does that work at all? Does that make sense? I guess it kind of does, yeah? Because basically you got like one that you can stand on and then you got like one that you can't. So we'll go ahead and go do something like this, I guess. Yeah, okay, that kind of works, right? It's busy as heck, but that kind of works. So let's actually fix that busyness. The idea is basically, yeah, basically, oh, that's ugly. This is just getting uglier by the second. It had so much promise before. All right, let's rethink this. The idea is basically there's this that you can stand on, and then there's the rest that you cannot stand on. So let's just like, yeah, let's redefine this. These Uggs are so ugly. This is getting uglier and uglier. Okay, let's go back. It's fine. It's fine to be ugly. That's fine. We'll just leave it the way it was, where it wasn't that bad. Because good lord. All right. We'll keep this. We'll keep this that we did and just take out this part, I guess. Yeah, that's a little better. That's a little better. It's kind of cool. What if we did like made this like super bright, because it's kind of hard to see otherwise. It's a little better. Okay. Let's see. Marianne Zuller says, I think code at xy plus 1 should be empty too. Let's see. Plus 1? Oh, it should be wait. Should be empty too. I'm not sure if I understand what you mean. But I guess I could change it up a little bit. Let's see. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Yeah, so you got like a top layer, and then you got like the bottom part that kind of repeats the tiles. Yeah, that's kind of good. It's gonna be a little brighter. Let's make it a little. Okay, this is pretty good. This is pretty good. Okay, so this is good because that allows us to. And then we can also say like level, player, start, level, start, level 4. Well, we don't know about that yet. Well, we know that we'll start with the player because we know that we're gonna have the player there. So let's go ahead and actually implement that. So we can use that instead of this code, this mess. We can just go ahead and do like this. Oops. 65535. There we go. Oh no, it didn't work. Let's see, 47 Kodat. Oh, whoops. Cool. Cool. So that works. All right. We got quite a bit done today. Ebitin seems pretty useful, and something. The reason why something that I liked about Ebitin was the ability to do stuff like. Oops. This, I guess. Actually, I don't think it's working. Let's try that. Maybe it's not working. Let's see. Actually, I think there's different things you can do with it. Let's see. I remember I messed with this and I was like, oh wow, that's really cool, but I don't remember how I did this. Scale, set element. Let's see, let's try using apply, I guess. remember. Okay, I gotta mess with it a little bit more because I know that there's a way to do what I'm trying to do. I just don't know like how. Composite mode, parts. Okay, yeah, that's kind of cool. Let's see. Let's take a look at the color matrix to see if there's anything out of the ordinary. What? Oh, okay. To see if there's anything out of the ordinary with regards to it. No. Oh. Okay, so... Oh, that's why. Okay, I guess it's... Well, then how are we able to apply a function on it, run a function on it, if the color matrix doesn't actually exist? Weird. Alright, well, I'll have to take a look at it. I know that there's stuff you can do with it, I just haven't... I don't know how to use it yet. But I know that there's some cool stuff you can do. Let me actually take a look at Ebiton's website. This is kind of cool. Flood filling. Now you can take an image and then just like fill it completely with the color. That's not really something that you see too often nowadays as a feature. Let's see so how did they do it? Screen to fill. Reset RGB not off forcibly. And then they set the color. And then they translate by that. Okay, so let's try that. And they don't actually create a color thing yet. Okay, so they position it, but then... Alright, let's try this. How do they do it? They scale. Okay. Oh, I was wondering why it's because it's blue, so there is no red already. Okay, I was like, what's going on? Alright, so this should make a darker blue, right? Yeah, so there's kind of cool stuff you can do here if you just do that, and then you could do translation of it. Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. That's so cool. So you have both tinting and multiplication in this one control. That's just like, that's a really cool effect. That's a really cool ability. that most games don't give you, most frameworks don't give you quite. It's also interesting the other stuff they have on other examples. This Mode 7 example is bananas. This is just like, this is just the coolest thing, dude. This is just the coolest thing, man. This is like just how they did it. Just how it looked. That just weird perspective, and oh man. This is how you knew games were like official and legit, is when they allowed you to do stuff like this. So there's so many cool things that you can do with just basic 2D frameworks. And Evitin is like, it looks pretty sick. Anyway, I'm hyped. I'm hyped. It's looking pretty good. So our game's coming along. It's coming along pretty well. We don't need this anymore. Cool. So we'll stop here, I think. That way we have a nice little, we have a couple of things that we can do here. A couple of improvements. So we have a level code. I guess actually something else, maybe a flag would be a better example, better name. It says not to use caps for this, so. Okay, I think we're good. He thinks it should be like this. Is that what he's trying to tell me? Okay, so I guess, man, I have to redo like all of these things. I'm not gonna do it. I mean, I guess I'll do it later, I suppose. It's fine the way it is right now. Alright. So yeah, this is a good start. This is definitely a good start. We got a lot of the way through. We got a lot of interesting things so far. The next thing will probably be player movement and collision detection, which shouldn't be too difficult. It's just that'll probably take a couple hours to do. To do right, at least. Yeah, that's a good start, definitely. Alright, let me do one last commit. Banjo said, before you leave, can we see some of your new works? I'm not sure what you mean by my new works. Like, new what? we go. Alright, Banjo says music or games or art or code. Okay. I don't have too much new to show. I don't really have too much to show. Most of the stuff I've been working on has been kind of related to either this. Actually, I don't need to bring this over here. Either related to this or kind of getting my computer up and running. Like, you know, not too much. I haven't really done too much development or anything in the past couple of weeks, apart from what I've seen, what you've seen on stream. Let's see, what other songs have I made though? I showed them before a little bit. What? Oh, it's not much. I guess I've... says, well, I'm leaving. Wanted to stay to the end, but my mom was asleep. Oh, no, thank you very much for stopping by. I know that, like, it's super duper early where you are. Super duper late, rather. It's like 4 a.m. or something. Don't, like, push yourself. You can always watch the stream later. Maybe I can change the time around a little bit to be maybe earlier in the day for some people. But that's going to be later in the day for others, so I don't know. Anyway, thank you. Thank you for stopping by. Banjo says, do you make your lead synth by recording it? No. Well, sometimes. Sometimes I do. Most times I don't. Most times I just do it, you know, like one at a time. I mean, just, you can't, I'm just pushing my keyboard. Basically, you know, I just enter the keys and, like, click and stuff. But yeah, I don't usually enter my lead, like, let me see. I don't usually enter it by, like, right live while recording. It's kind of just like a chill beat. Let's see, Banjo says, okay, last thing, could you find a way to link some of your samples? Unfortunately, it looks like most of the samples, like the good ones that I used, got taken down. Let's see. They were hosted on Key Archive, but they're gone now, which is a shame. Oh no, there they are. Cool. Yeah, so here they are. Here they are. I thought that they were gone. Tracker.modarchive.org, Key Archive. This one is like... yeah, it's like half a gig of samples. These are from, I think, the Atari X. Oh man, not the ST tracker. I used those more recently for the like futuristic cyberpunk stuff. But like these are just higher quality kind of normal samples from the Atari. What is it? The Atari. Man, I can't remember. It's the nice one, not the ST tracker. Whoops, not the ST tracker, but the other one. Anyway, yeah, so tracker.modarchive.org, keyarchive.zip. This one is really good. Here's a couple of other ones, Woolies, chiptune samples, and TMA Wave World. I think that these are basically like collections of mods, I guess, as well. Songs that you can play back and listen to, which is always nice. I think, yeah, Key Archive is excellent. Key Archive specifically is like probably like if there's one, I haven't really looked like infinite, you know, for a long amount of time, but basically Key Archive is like a really high quality set of samples. Let's see. So like this is like something that I haven't done anything with, but like it sounds pretty jamming. Probably too loud. Like there's so you could do a lot with this, but this is like just the bass is just like this groovy, like almost like aggressive kind of sound. I want to grow that. I haven't done anything with that really just yet though. I showed that one. Let's see. Yeah, I mean I've done other things, but this is stuff that people have heard before in other videos. So nothing really new. Nothing really new apart from a song here or there. Mostly the cyberpunk stuff I've been working on. Mostly trying to like get really nice like. Just groove. So like this is what I was talking about. Like I've been focusing on that a lot, like making just like massive groove songs. So like so I just start with that one lick basically, and then I added and then I just add the drums and then the lead. So I mean, like you see, like it's just like for these specifically, the bass is just like where it starts. Like it's all about the bass basically when you're first like coming up with this mess. So this is like it almost sounds kind of random. right. I almost forgot. Syncopation is also really important. That's what I try to do as well with the drums and the bass. Is try to, and the you know, keyboard at times, is to try to get them to hit at the same time to make it sound really like, to make it sound like they're all playing together. So like that's where you can hear it, like it's they all follow the same basic idea. I think that they all sound unique, but they all follow the same basic idea of how to get what I was doing to get these sounds. So that's the idea, is basically start off with, for me, start off with the bass, add you know, your mid instrument, add your drums, and then add your melody, and then skip over to the bridge where I keep the same bass. I'm gonna change up the chords generally once I go to the chorus, but like keep the same bass, keep the same mid, maybe have a different lead, and maybe a different drum beat, but basically it's the same instruments, kind of. Banjo says, are all these sounds from Key Archive? No, for these, none of them are from Key Archive. These are from the Atari ST sample tracker, ST pack, Atari ST tracker sample pack. So basically, if you look up tracker food, let me see if I can find it on my side. Tracker food, chiptunes.org. Oh, here we go. Protracker.de, is that right? Is it there? Nope. Here we go. Archive.org coming through in the clutch. Maybe. Possibly. Yes. So this is the Amiga Soundtracker sample packs. No copyright. Cool. So yeah. So this is basically yeah, the sample packs for the Commodore Amiga Soundtracker. It's music making software like Ultimate Soundtracker, Protracker, and Noise Tracker created a distinct sound. Amiga music, exactly. I always loved the Amiga music when playing computer games as a kid. I hope these samples will inspire people to keep using the Amiga sound. So that's what I'm... Note that when using these samples in modern DAWs, you need to pitch the samples down a couple of octaves. So yeah, that's basically the sound that I try to hit, is that a whole old school old school Amiga sound. That like crunchy, not high quality, but like still jamming sound. Like not high quality, but dang it if it doesn't make you want to dance. Like it still is really good. It still is jamming. It still hits all of the notes. That's kind of what I want to people. You know, want people to like still like rock. Like I want people to say like oh yeah, I make chip tunes. Like oh these sounds are chip tunes, chiptune sounds. And hold on. Banjo said, can you put the link in the chat? Sure. I want people to be like, you know, like, oh, like, I want to say like, oh, this, I make, you know, retro games. And people are like, oh, you make games that, you know, not people, but I mean, like, people on the internet to be like, oh, I see, you know, another NES game. And it's like, no. It's like, no. Like, I'm not going for NES here. I'm not going for, you know, super, like, you know, pixely, like, stuff. Maybe, I mean, this is a super pixely game just because it's like, you know, this is for learning purposes. It's going to be low resolution. We're doing a single screen game, essentially. But, like, you know, I don't want to, like, I want people to be like, oh, this is, like, some high-quality mess. Like, this is some high-quality stuff. Even if the sound is, like, super retro, it doesn't sound like blips and bloops and, you know, just NES stuff. Like, this is, you know, a little further along in the history of music in games. Like, you know, SNES, PS1, you know, Amiga, that kind of, like, really high-quality, really jamming sound, even though it's, still sounds like a, you know, video game in terms of like the instrumentation and the style. So anyway, yeah, I would recommend those samples. You have to mess around with those, just because they're not all aligned correctly. They're not all aligned the same. Like some samples are like 7 notes down, some are maybe 15 notes down. Well, some are like the previous guy said, the guy on the link in archive.org. You have to like, pitch it down a couple of octaves in order for it to be like the original sound, the correct sound. But then even still, you have to go ahead and probably kick it down another 5 or 7. But like how much exactly kind of depends on which folder, not which folder, but which sample you're using. So like the ones in the first folder, ST-001, ST-01. Like these you can basically all use, like they're the same, I think, like all pitched down maybe by 17 or something like that, or 24 plus 5, something like that, 24 minus 5, so it's negative 24 minus 5, so 29, something like that, somewhere around there. Don't take that particular number, but it's going to be down a couple of octaves, like an octave or 2, and then also I think down 5. But then also other instruments might be like negative 7 or negative 3 or 0. In terms of the semitone offset. So you'll have to kind of mess around with it to see like how to align your notes correctly. So the easiest way to do that would be to start off with something that you know is like C, like on this, on, you know, something that you know is C on a generator, and then go ahead and load your sample and make sure that they're all hitting the same note. I messed up. I can't, wait. like it's almost like a punch at certain notes. Anyway, yeah, so anyway, I hope that's useful. Thank you very much for coming through. It's been real. let's see. I think I pushed this. Okay, I did. Yeah, so it's been real. Hopefully this will be interesting for people if they come across this once it's done. They're like, oh yeah, wow, I can actually just make my own levels by just drawing on this thing, and you know, I can make my own characters by going in here, and or my own objects by going in here and like doing whatever here. Hopefully it'll be relatively simple and straightforward, and people will have fun. Using this as a learning resource, and maybe I'll be able to even make it up a little bit further into an actual game and sell it or something. So anyway, thank you very much for coming through. It's been real. It's been fun. I appreciate your visiting the stream. If you want to watch these later, please feel free. It's going to be on YouTube. If you want to check out the GitHub repository and download it and play the game, or look at the code and work on it yourself or whatever, it's going to be there in the description. Should be there in the description right now. If you want to support development of my videos and stuff, please feel free to go ahead, check out the description in the video. There's links to Steam, Itch, Bandcamp, lots of places where you can buy something and help me out. So thank you very much for, Patreon as well. So thank you very much for coming through, and hope you all have fun, and I know I did, making games here with Go and Abbyton. So thank you very much. You have a great day, great night, great morning, whatever the case is, and I'll catch you guys on the flip side. See ya.